A different way that you might be able to practice sight words using two different programs. One is Flippity, and the second is Seesaw. So in Seesaw, I wanted an activity that would let the kids practice their sight words, but also a way for teachers to keep track of their sight words checks, especially when we were on remote learning. So I've made an activity, and I'm going to play it as a student first to show you how it works. Be the sample student in the class. And this happens to be the red sight words. If you click back on the directions, there is an interactive link that takes them to a Flippity page. And they can listen to the directions. It tells them to click on the link to the left, choose the list of sight words they're currently working on, and use the activities to practice. Flippity is an add-on for Google Sheets. And so on a Google Sheet, I have created a list of words using a template that I get from the Flippity website. I think these are in the way. Down here at the bottom, these 3 pages come in when you download the template from the Flippity website, and it tells you what to do. You can make some changes to the setting, and then this is the link that you're going to share once you publish the list. Flippity does tell you how to do that on their website, but what I have is a list of the red sight words, lists 1 through 5, typed in the bottom section down here. Supposedly, if I were to put my email in here, when the students do a test on this activity, it would email me the results. Now, the last couple of times that I tried this, there was a message that said that this feature in Flippity is not working at the moment. But I could put my email here for each of these lists, and then if students actually play the test of the practice sessions, that would come up. Then I publish this to the web. So I've already done that. I published it, so I instead of copying this link, which would publish this sheet. Okay. I'm going to go to this page where it says get this link here, and this is the actual link that I'm putting in my Seesaw lesson. So back to the Seesaw lesson, when they click here, it takes them to the Flippity practice, and this is actually a Flippity game for spelling words, but what I liked about it for sight words is it would let them hear the word. For practice, some people say they don't need to know how to spell their sight words, but at least this is a way to practice and you're hearing the word themselves. Under quiz, this is where if they did the quiz all the way through, it would send the results, or it should send the results to me. The other thing that makes it even a little more fun is there is games at the back that they can play. That would be not one that I would pick or suggest. So they're having to look at the sight words and find ones that match, or play a game to practice their sight words in a different way. After they finish practicing a little bit on the Flippity part of it, back in the Seesaw lesson, when they click on the pages, the actual activity, it tells them in the directions to practice here, then click on Add Response. They're going to use their eraser to find their sight words that are hidden at the page. And at the end of the week, they're going to read the list of words to their teacher, and that would be the way that the teacher quizzes them or tests them on how well they know their sight words. So once again, it's going to have me reading the words on this page, and I have highlighted as I'm reading so the students can follow. I thought this would be a great way for students to actually hear the words and see the words, even if they don't have a parent at home that's practicing with them. So on the practice pages, this is what's called a hidden practice. They're going to use their eraser, and if they need the directions read again, this time I did the directions in the caption. So the direction is repeated here. So they're practicing as they read. They're going to turn on their microphone. It's going to start recording me. They're going to use their eraser, and as they erase, they're going to say the word out loud. A, I, it, and they would continue. That recording gets saved, so when they turn it in, the teacher can listen to the recording and it will show the pages all covered up. As each word is uncovered, the student would be reading it out loud. Those are what I considered practice pages. At the end of the week, after they've practiced for 5 days, they're supposed to click on the last page, and this time they're supposed to show what they know. So they're going to use the microphone to record themselves reading each row of words, starting at the top of the list and going to the bottom. If you wanted to, you could have the students do the same thing I did, where they pick the highlighter and they choose a color that we can see through. And as they're recording, they're highlighting the words the same way I did. List 1, the, to, and. So the teacher can see which word they're looking at. When they're finished, that recording would play back and the teacher can hear. And that way, this is a digital recording of students reading their words. If they mastered this list, then you would give them some kind of notes at the bottom, then next week assign the next set of color words. So that's an idea of how to use Seesaw for a little bit of a different way, using that erasing feature where they're seeing the words and as they erase them. Now, how did I make it? I created slides that had the shape on it, and then I just duplicated the shape to fill the page. The shape, inside of each shape, I typed the sight words and put them on the page, splashed all over the place. When I bring it in, then I do a screenshot, Control Shift 5 or Control Shift 4, and take a screenshot of each of the pages that I want to use in my Seesaw activity. And then let's say I haven't added this one yet. I can go back to my activities in my library and I can edit the activity I've already made to show you how to add a page. This happens to be in my phonics collection. Somewhere, sight words, I'm sorry. Sight words collection. When I open this, I can edit the activity by clicking on the 3 dots at the side. And let's say I didn't add the page that I wanted to in the student template, which is the one down here at the bottom. I would simply add a new page, add that picture that I took of my slide. Maybe make it a little bit smaller so I can see it better. Lock it in place. And then I'm going to use a big fat pen. If I hold this down, I can choose the fattest one, and I want white to match my edges of these hexagons. And then I'm just going to color over top of all my words till I get them all covered in. Okay, these activities were made before the new features this summer, so after I got them all colored in, I could add a page at the end with an image of a sound image, which I have already saved somewhere in here, right there. And if I make it giant on this last page and I record my directions, turn on your microphone, select the eraser tool, and erase the white shapes on this page. Underneath each white shape will be one of your sight words. As you see it or discover it, read that word out loud. Once all the words are uncovered and read out loud, save that recording for each page. So now my directions can be in this little image. It records the whole page that was open when I was recording, and I can shrink it down to a small image, very tiny. Copy with Control C, take it to this page I'm working on, and then Control V, paste those directions over here to the side. I might put a text box that says click here. So that way our page would be completed. Just another trick about how to get kids to read sight words. Hopefully that's helpful.